Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, know that I appreciate you. It's been quite a while since I put a video up. Quite a while. So, because it's been so long, I've got a lot of catching up to do. Um, Maybe not a lot, a little bit of catching up to do. Look at my nails, they are growing like crazy. Growing like crazy. Let's see, is there a secret to that? I've been drinking a lot of water, but I've also, when I make my smoothies, I think I told you guys before that when I make my smoothies, I also use other supplements, one of them being collagen. And I'm out of collagen now, but I do have right now the matcha tea and collagen mix powder that I put in my smoothies. But yeah, my hair has actually been growing as well, but I've cut it down. I'm keeping it very low, but it has been growing as well. But my nails have been growing like madness. Um, this is the longest my nails have been in a very long time. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. But yeah, this is the longest they've been in a very long time, and I've kept them. Um, because they typically, when they get to this length, they get, or actually before they get to this length, they get very uncomfortable. Oh, excuse me. They are very uncomfortable, so I end up cutting them off. But this time around, it didn't. It wasn't so bad. It is taking a lot to get used to, because I do a lot of typing, so it's taking a lot to get used to them when it comes to the typing. But I mean, like, this is crazy to me. It's seriously just nuts to me. And I guess I should apologize for the lighting, but I've got the overhead on. The window is open, maybe because the blinds aren't open. It's still kind of dim. It also might be because I have a dirty lens. Hold on one second. That helped too? No, not so much. Not so much. But let's get caught up. Let's get caught up. So if you didn't hear the little rattling a little bit ago, um, we have a dog now, a little dog, and I would pick him up, but in addition to folding clothes, I'm also eating an apple, and I'm not gonna pick him up while I'm eating my apple. But we got a little Chihuahua from the rescue, and he has taken to me more than he's taken to anyone. I initially thought that he was taking to my husband more, and I thought, wow, that's great, because he's the one that really wanted the dog, and he wanted the dog as a comfort. And it was good. I mean, he rode in my husband's lap the whole way home, and let Chris rub on him and everything. But that only lasted as long as the car ride, because after that he was trailing me. So he follows me around. I'm gonna give him a bath for the first time. We've only had him a week yesterday. So I'm gonna give him a bath for the first time and see how he appreciates that. This lighting is sucking. It has to be because the blinds aren't open, but I don't know if that'll make it too much better. We shall see. We shall see. So yeah, we've got a dog. Yeah, that didn't make it too much better. I don't know what the deal is. My grandson is here for another couple of weeks. He is going back home the weekend of the 19th. He was supposed to stay until the end of July. Initially, so very blurry. I'm not sure why. I guess because I keep doing so much moving around. But initially, he was supposed to stay until the end of the summer. And his mom decided that she didn't want that because she wanted to be able to spend some time with him before he went back to school. Which, hey, I understand that totally. So he was supposed to stay until the end of July, but I couldn't get that time off work. So he's going to go back home the weekend of the 19th, which is just a week earlier. So he's here. We haven't done a whole lot with him. Our weekends, because he's only been here 2 weeks. Excuse me, I think tomorrow makes 2 whole weeks that he's been here. So we're going to do some stuff with him next weekend. We drove around a little bit to kind of scout out some places that we wanted to take him. We knew where we wanted to take him, but we didn't know the pricing on everything. So yesterday we went by the stockyards and we saw how much it cost to take him there for the petting zoo. So we're going to do that next weekend. We're going to get him to the water park probably next weekend as well. They have a water park geared towards children, smaller children. So we're going to take him to that instead of taking him to the big one at Great America. Is it Great America? Do they call it Great America here? I think they call it Great America here. It's where the husband used to work. They have a water park there too, but I really didn't want to take him to that one because there's so many people there, especially now because of the weather. It's been in the 90s for the last 2 weeks, and felt like the high 90s for the last 2 weeks. A couple of days, it felt like it was in the hundreds. And because of that, there's so many people at the water park, and I really didn't want to take him to that. And my supervisor reminded me that there is a water park geared towards smaller children, so we'll take him to that one instead. I just have to look it up and get the prices on that one. I know I can look that one up, but we'll take him to that one and do a couple of more things. And then the following weekend, we're supposed to be headed out to Mississippi to go visit my sister and my brother. And then the following weekend is when he goes home. So yeah, it's been busy. We spent 5 days in Chicago when we went to pick him up. That was a good weekend. It was a stressful weekend, but it was a good weekend because I was able to see some family that I hadn't seen in a little bit. Like I hadn't seen my boys in a while, my older two in a while. So I got to see them, spend some time with him. My grandson graduated kindergarten, so we got to celebrate that and hang out with his mom and some extended family. So we did that. I think I'm gonna save the blessings that have been happening for a separate video, just to talk about how good God is. But I will say that God has shown up and shown out in several ways in our lives in the last month or so. Big time shown out. Yeah, we still have our challenges, we still have our struggles, but God has really shown up and shown out in several ways. So but yeah, so we spent 5 days in Chicago. I got to go to the women's monthly women's meeting, which I am so happy I did. I got to get with the sisters and just have a really great time. And thankfully, when we go back to take him back, it's also third Saturday, because they get together every third Saturday. And the group is called Winners, and I love it. I was a part of the committee when I was in Chicago for that last year that we were there. And I love that we are getting together, that the women get together. And I love being around other women and just, women in Christ, and just being able to encourage and uplift one another. So I was able to do that. And then it just so happens that when we take him back, it's also going to be third Saturday. So I'll be able to do that for a little bit while we're there. But yeah, so that's some stuff. What else has happened? my direct supervisor, and I think I mentioned this in a previous video. I don't know if I've posted it yet or not because I still have videos that I need to get up. I still have my podcast because I missed a Sunday, so I still have a podcast to get up. I got 2 to get up. And I haven't been blogging lately. It's been hectic. It's been hectic. Since the last time I posted a video, it's been really hectic. So I've got some catching up that I've got to do, and I know that this is all over the place, but it's because there's so much that has happened since the last time I posted. But yeah, so I've got to get videos up. I've got to get blogs out. I've got to get podcasts out. I've been off track on my schedule for the last 3 weeks, but that's because there's been so much going on. We've got the grandson's here. He graduated kindergarten, going to 1st grade. When we went to Chicago, we brought one of my husband's cousins back, one of his cousins back with us so that he can get a fresh start. We'll see how that works out. He gets 90 days like everybody else that we have invited to do this. He gets 90 days to see if he can make Texas work for him. If not, then he goes back to Chicago. Or he figures it out however, but you get 90 days, that's it. And there's a lot that you can do in 90 days here in Texas. So we shall see how that works out. What else? My office is a mess. It's an absolute wreck because one of the things that we did while in Chicago was pick up some more stuff, and we still have some things there, but thankfully what we have left are just pictures. I have I have a trunk, I think 2 or 3 boxes, and then maybe 2 or 3 totes filled with pictures, nothing but pictures. I gotta bring them back. I gotta get them down here.
Nana?
Yes.
Where's my notebook?
On the table in the where the fan is in the bedroom. Close the door. Thank you. Pardon me. Yeah, pictures. Tons and tons of pictures. I've got to bring them all down here. So I got rid of a lot of stuff. So we brought down the things that I could not get rid of. And I don't even want to show you, but I'm going to have to show you so you can get an idea. So, okay, you know what I can do? I don't have to do that. I can do it this way. So, it won't let me. It won't let me do it that way. So I have to do it this way. So there are 2 totes there that I brought back with, and then 2 more totes there that I brought back with, containers rather. Another one that was filled with something else, but I've emptied it since, and then put my grandmother's fur coats and things and her purses in there. Then I brought back my sewing machine, which there's so much stuff. I don't know if you all were able to see it or not. But there's so much stuff. I actually told my oldest to sell the sewing machine if he needed some extra money, and he said, "No, Mom, I'm not gonna sell it. I might find somebody that can actually sell and be able to use it. If you're not gonna sell it, I'm just gonna come get my sewing machine." So I brought it back with, which is great because there are certain things that I've been wanting to do. That I'll be able to do now that I have it with. The husband wants to get into making t-shirts, so we're going to venture into that in a couple of months. We have already a 6-foot table. We'll probably get another 6-foot table. I wanted to get another desk in here, and I probably will, but I'm not going to get what I initially wanted. I wanted something much bigger, that had much more surface than what I have now. And I'm not going to do that now because I know that I want to get a 6-foot table in here too. for the sewing machine and all the crafting and things that I'll be doing. And then the husband, like I said, wants to do t-shirts, so we'll use the other 6-foot table for his t-shirts. So yeah, we've got some things that we want to do that we're going to be working on soon. We did have an online store. We still have it. I haven't paid for it in a few months because I wanted to revamp it and actually be able to focus on it. So we're going to do that, get some things going, and then focus on getting the store back up, because it wasn't very lucrative as it is currently. And I think it's because it's selling everything that everybody else is selling. So I'm going to do something different. It still will be clothing and things like that, but I want it to be our stuff. Not just everyone else's thing, but I want our things included as well. So once we get it started, once we get the t-shirt started and I get my crafting started again, we'll get the store back open and get it going again, and that will make it happen. I think that'll make some sales come in, I think. What else has happened? I've reached out to a nonprofit that works with not only underprivileged children, but also those in just underprivileged communities, and they want to, advance people that want to advance themselves, get additional education, certifications, and things like that. So I'm going to be connecting with them. I meet with them again. Oh, I have to change that meeting because it's the weekend that I'm going to be going back to Chicago now. But I'm going to be, I've had one meeting with them already. It was a great meeting, and we've got some things that we want to do together with my writing program, and then their programs that they already have in place. So I'm excited about that. What else? I do believe, and this is what I was going to say before, I do believe that I mentioned that my direct supervisor had retired. She is in full retirement stage at this point. She had an aneurysm, and when they went in to not necessarily remove it, but to stunt it, it affected her eyesight. So she is basically blind in one eye, and she was already partially blind in one eye. So she has vision, but she only has straight on direct vision, no peripheral at all. So it has made it very difficult for her to do some things. So she is in full retirement, and then my boss died unexpectedly. So he died last month, so we had his services. His children are taking over the business, and we'll see what happens with that. We'll see. The husband and I have some other things in the works. So, and the only reason I'm mentioning this is because it directly impacts my ability to work for this company. So if something were to happen and I no longer work for that company, the husband and I have some things that we have in the works that will be our backup plan. So we'll see what happens. What else is going on? There's a lot more stuff, but I don't want to make this too much longer. I mean, it's already at 19 minutes, and I've got to do some edits, I know. So I want to try to get it down to 15 minutes if possible. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot that has happened that's kept me from really posting. I finally found a software I think that I kind of like a little bit more. So I'm going to use that to get the rest of the videos up, as well as this one. And we'll see what happens. But until I make that next video about all of the blessings that have been happening in the last month, peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you.